In this video, we're going to talk about SubD in RHINO. This is a new way to model, and it's the evolution of the mesh tools and also of the T-splines, which were available in previous versions. So you can see here some of the objects that I have created using SubD, but I will start from the beginning as usual. So we're going to start with really simple things and then proceed further. Now let's get started with the first tool that we found here in the SubD tools, and the first one, it's called the single SubD face. Now this can be helpful to understand what are we talking about. So if we create something here, it's gonna create a polygon. Now a polygon, it's a triangle, could be a triangle or could be also four-sided, or you can actually add many different sides to this. And now you can also, let's press enter. So you can see here, this is the way the SubD are gonna appear. They usually will appear really soft and curvy. Now I can also extrude this just as I extruded curves and surfaces. You can do the same with the SubD. And again, it's not gonna look like anything that we have seen before. It's gonna look like a really rounded shape, but not really a NURBS. It's something a little bit different. Now I want to create another one here just to show you what's the difference between this and the mesh. Now I only want to do four-sided here and press enter, and then I want to do a mesh, okay, and use the single mesh face, which is a similar command in the mesh tools, and press enter. Now you see here that these two are really different. This one, it's pretty rigid, and this one here, it's really soft, talking about edges. Now if I go here in the SubD tools and use this button here to toggle SubD display, there you go, it's gonna show me the real effect of those subdivisions surfaces. So if these are gonna be smooth unless I click here, and this is gonna reveal me the real structure. Now you can see here that it's really rounded. This part is really rounded. This is because it doesn't have subdivisions. So subdivisions are really important in the SubD. And also if I go here at the bottom, I can see that this is empty. Well, it's we have a hole here, so this is not a closed solid, it's an open SubD. Now to close this is really easy. We have similar command that we also seen before. So we can do with fill SubD hole and select the borders there and press enter. And you can also change here some of these settings. Okay, now you can see this is a closed subdivision, and it's gonna appear different now. There you go. So now it's even softer than before. So when you have a hole, it's gonna limit the roundness of the edges. And also when you have subdivisions, it's gonna limit the roundness of the edge. Let me do another example. So let's use one of these primitives. I'm not gonna show you all the primitives because these are similar to the mesh primitives and also to the NURBS primitives, and also the sweep and the loft. These are all similar, and the tubular shape here. This is similar to what we have seen before, so I'm not gonna go again over those. You can just see the previous videos. So I just want to create a simple box. Now when you create an object in subdivisions, just like in mesh, you can define a number of subdivisions. So now it's 3 times 3 times 3. And let's create this one here. Okay, and now I want to create another one, but I'm going to decrease this. Let's say 1, 1, and 1. Okay, and look how it's gonna be different. Now this is way much rounded than this one here. Why? Because it has less subdivisions. Now let's make a third one, and this time I'm gonna do 9, 9, and 9. And look what's gonna happen. There you go. Now, same exact tool, which is the box, but 3 different results, all about the subdivisions. So basically, when subdivisions are really near to the edge, that's gonna be more and more straight, and if they are far from the edge, this is gonna be more and more rounded, just like this. Now there is another way to limit the roundness. So in addition to these subdivisions, so I'm gonna copy this, pressing Alt and moving the object forward, and let's make this a less rounded. So to do that, I can use this tool here. Well, these two here, one is to add a crease and the other one is to remove a crease. So let's first add a crease, and I will select, for example, these edges and press enter, and there you go. Now that's the only part which is going to be more rigid than the rest. Again, let's add another 2, for example, and press enter. There you go. Now these are stronger than the other edges. And let's repeat. Let's use also this one here and this one here and press enter. There you go, another result. So you can see here where I'm going. Let's do the last. So let's create 1, 2. Well, you can also go into the other views to select quickly. And you can see here I'm selecting edges and points. And there you go. Now this is a standard box without any roundness. And if I want to remove creases, I will use this other one here, remove. So let's remove, for example, 1. And there you go. And let's remove another right there. And there you go. So this is a totally different shape again. So it's like I'm creating chocolates, for example, of different shapes. It's like really working with clay. It's like sculpting. It's like manipulating the object using the faces and the points and the edges. But we're gonna make more examples. So we saw how we can limit the roundness, increasing the subdivisions, changing the creases. Now another option is to work with the edges, and we can do edge loops or edge rings. Now, for example, let's add here an edge loop. So I will select, for example, this segment here and press enter, and you can see here I'm inserting another line there. There you go, and let's repeat the operation, same exact operation right here. So you can see how this part is becoming more rigid, and if we want to switch here to see what's happened, I've just added some subdivisions right there near the edge.